my question for you is, do you have some wisdom? Like, I have two things for you, two questions, really. One is, do you have wisdom for others? And the other, secondly, one is, what makes you work? Like, you came out in a time where not everybody was coming out. And you also did a lot of the work that allowed people to come out the way that they're coming out, feel free and comfortable to come out now. And do you have advice for anyone thinking about, not sure about who they are?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Wow. It's so easy to come out now. I think it's probably not easy all over the place. There are, I'm sure, easier spots in the world, like urban areas, where it's much easier and there's so much more support. And I have to say, Jane, when I came out, I thought it was easy. There was feminism through the 70s, and a lot of that feminism supported lesbian relationships. In fact, I felt like I wasn't quite feminist enough without having a lesbian relationship. So at that point, it was very political and it was very easy to come out, I thought.
Because we got together in 1980.
That's right.
Whereas I was coming out
in
1960, so it was hard to tell. It was one of those slow starts.
Much harder.
But I was at the first Canadian March for Gay Rights in Ottawa, and that was in 71. And and I worked with the Toronto Community Homophile Association of Toronto, chat, and went to schools and talked and was actually I worked hard for where we are now, really.
Right.
And at that time, but as a radical lesbian, I didn't believe in marriage. But now what I think is it's so good, and it's so good because of the bridging it allows. Because
that's true.
People that are still not comfortable with words like lesbian or queers or gays even, or any of that, it just brings up bad things they've been taught in their heads. Like, we've had people, I often tell the story of the woman in the elevator. An older woman, we get asked if we're sisters all the time. Anyway, so the woman in the elevator says,
not that we think we look like,
"Oh, are you two sisters?"
Yeah.
And we said, "No." And then I said, "But we did just get married, and we've been together 30 years." And so as soon as you say those magic words, "we just got married," it's like the people have tapes in their heads about what you say back when people say they just got married. They say, "Oh,
married.
That's wonderful.
Married is one of those cheerful
or
words.
Congratulations." And then instead of it starting to be a weird, bad conversation where they don't know what to say.
Because if you say,
"Are you the devil?" Or
if you say no, but we're lesbians, and so you just say, if you bring lesbian into the conversation, they go,
they don't know if that's,
can I get off this elevator? I don't know.
But they just don't know if it's okay. They don't know if you're okay with it. People are just awkward. Whereas if you give them something that they can understand, that they already have good ideas in their head about some of them,
translation word,
then they start having a reasonable conversation with you, discover that you're a reasonable person, and there has been a rapprochement, which is good. I think.
Bridge that gap. You've bridged that gap by using a construct that everybody can really,
that's right, understands and knows to like.
There are people out there that think that gay people have saved marriage.
Of course, and we have.
Who knows?
Anyway, in terms of wisdom, that's certainly one of them. But the other thing is, I really like being in a relationship. There are people who don't like to be in a relationship. They're more solitary. They like to have their own life. They may have even been married and then discover after a divorce or a death that they really approve of their own now single life. But no, that wouldn't be for me. I really like being in a relationship. I like having my person. That's my Chris. And so it's not as though it's been, beer and Skittles the whole time, but we keep trying to learn ways that we can be more harmonious together. And I think over time we've actually moved in that direction. So we have been called feisty.
Yeah, we still have fights.
Yeah, we do. And but we do try to keep it as harmonious as possible for our own mental health, really.
Yeah, I mean, really, if it is kind of remarkable in a way that we can do it because we are both eldest daughters.
Okay. All
And
right.
so,
So it's like having two alpha dogs,
Yeah,
and we're both right a lot of the time.
thank
Right.
God.
Most of the time, we think. Both of us always. But fortunately, we both often are. And we recognize that. But I think this business of where we didn't live together for 5.5 years was a really useful thing.
Yes, it
Because
was.
there are so many things you discover about people. I think it's, I don't know. I just think that's useful. I think there's a lot to learn about being with somebody and how to do that.
Mhm.
And I think when we got married, we were so sure when they
Yeah.
asked if we did, we certainly did. There wasn't a question of that.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself almost immediately, how does anybody do this after 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years? You know, how do they do that? We had learned so much over that whole time.
Mhm.
But that 5 year non-living together, and in fact, we maintain, like as couples go, we are more fused than most. We're both women. We both like a lot of the same things. We like literature. We like readings. We like
Dancing.
certain culture things. We like dancing. We both like a neat house, thank the good Lord. And I think that's important.
Very important.
We both cook, and things like that. But what was I going to say?
You were gonna say.
Talk about that 5-year gap and how you.
Yeah.
I was talking about that. Yeah.
Because so many people now, like, the kind of the pattern is you date for sometimes a short time.
Yeah.
Like, and then you live together. You decide, oh, well, let's
Yes.
try it out. Let's try it out. Let's live
Oh,
together.
yeah. I know what I was aiming towards saying, though. What I was going to say is, even now, I was very inspired by Virginia Woolf.
Okay.
Just even the title, A Room of One's Own. Like, we still have our own bedrooms and our own offices.
And our own bank accounts.
And our own bank accounts. We also have a joint bank account.
Yeah.
And we do share money and back and forth. And we are now joint tenants on our houses. And we don't use our bedrooms all the time separately, of course. And in fact, probably mostly we don't. But it's nice that they're there. It's nice when people get sick. It's nice when people come over and need a place to stay. There's a million uses for it. But one of them is a way of getting space when you're very together. And so in some ways we're very together, but in other ways we take a little more space that other people don't take.
Absolutely. I mean, and that is super important to allow your partner space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because some people will try to suck everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
It's nice if you can both breathe and both.
Yes.
Yeah. And Arleen will go off to a writing retreat. I'll go off to a meditation retreat. Yeah. Sometimes we go to meditation retreats together, but they're kind of a separate thing anyway. We'd have a separate room if we can when we do that.
But so especially though for two women together, Jane, as you can imagine, because I think the gender difference allows for more separation in most marriages anyway, because there are different roles and different sort of friendship circles and that kind of thing. For Chris and I, there's a lot of overlap, so we really have to make sure that we take space for ourselves. Yeah.
And are able to do that at home. And in fact, we prefer to eat all our meals together, really, pretty much, except if we're sharing them with somebody else or if we go out somewhere separately. But so there's a lot of togetherness. So it's good that we keep some spatial separation from time to time.
Right. No, I think that's good advice, to make sure that you've got some space. A little bit of space.
And we do divide up some tasks.
We do. Yeah.
That, we have our little specialties.
Yeah.
in
Well,
things.
sure, everybody does. Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
so, but that is part of advice too, is to understand each person's role.
Mhm.
Or, you know, you are the person who's my tech person.
Yeah, that's right.
That sort
Or
of
you
thing.
are my, you know, I mean, people have different roles, or you are the,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, you might both cook, but one of you might be the really good baker.
Right.
It's true. I
That's
like to
right.
bake.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, so there's different, so the advice
Mhm.
is to make sure that you understand and appreciate each other's roles, because
Yes. And appreciation is huge too.
And that you can be flexible if the other person, you know, sometimes a person wants to infringe on somebody's area a little, and we have to be a little open to that, I think. Don't you?